once again, I want to let you know this is really kind of like a private event. That this is not our big, huge general launch. Doesn't even happen. We don't go public to the general public till February 17th. We've been bringing and inviting special folks. So if you've been invited, you are special. So we are starting right now. This is New Res. My name is 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗹𝗹𝗏. I want to thank you for coming on board tonight. Here's what I want to make sure you really understand. Before the webinar ends, you will learn how you can own, and I literally mean own, a piece of hundreds of properties. You'll have a piece, an ownership position in hundreds of properties without having to shell out a huge pile of money, thousands of dollars. I want you to understand that, because our whole play here, well, we really feel that we're starting a movement here, that we want to have some way for every possible person interested in real estate to get involved. We want to make it so easy, such an easy path, that no matter where you are, what you're doing, you can be part of our community. So once again, before this webinar ends, you'll definitely learn exactly how you can own a piece of hundreds of properties without having to shell out thousands of bucks. And we're going to give you a little surprise. If you stay all the way to the end of the webinar, you will see, possibly for the first time, some of the properties that you will own a piece of. That's fun, right? Is that pretty cool? You're going to see the actual buildings. You're going to see Noelle with her bright, smiling face, I think with a camera, and you're going to see her right there with the buildings that we want to go after and get involved with New Res. Now, a little bit about myself. Once again, I'm 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗹𝗹𝗏. I'm the chairman of the celebrity network 𝗡𝗍𝗲𝗹𝗹𝗏, and I'm involved and connected with over 5,000 celebrities in the sports, music, TV, and film space. Here are just a few of them. Paulina Perakova with my lovely wife, that's 𝗏𝗠. We've got Paula Abdul. We've got Eddie George, Taj George, the singing star. We've got Lawrence Taylor, Phil Simms, and Robert Horry, who's won more NBA rings than you can think of. But it gives you an idea. We've worked on over 500 celebrity endorsement campaigns, and we've touched or gotten in front of over 1 billion people. So that's me. And I met Noelle, who I'm going to talk about in a second, because I got her connected up with Shark Tank star Kevin Harrington. So who is Noelle Randall? Bing, that's Noelle. And let's learn a little bit about her. This is just a few bullet points. Noelle has a bachelor degrees from University of Connecticut, UConn, a very, very strong school. Then she went ahead and got a master's degree at Penn State. Yep, that's Penn State. And then got her MBA at Baylor. Noelle was one of the youngest, if not the youngest, vice presidents of JPM Chase, that's Chase Bank, and then also vice president over at Home Vantage Mortgage, among other institutions. She's acquired millions of dollars in real estate assets. She's built and managed an extensive portfolio of single-family homes all over the country. She's the author of 4 major books in the area of real estate and investing, and she is a nationally known real estate coach and mentor. And I think somebody's just escorted her out of the green room, so she is here. Hey, Noelle, how are you doing?
Oh, I always blush every time I hear that that introduction.
Man, I wish I had one like that.
Oh, thank you.
You're real smart. I'm just kind of hang on. So it's great seeing you. I really appreciate you coming in. You just flew in from, was it Salt Lake?
Yes, I got in this morning from Salt Lake City, Utah. So I relate when you said it was freezing there, and then now it's freezing here in Florida. So I'm in Florida as well now too, and it's freezing here.
Yeah. It's amazing. I was there at 11 degrees, and now I'm here at, I don't know, 30. but it's great to see you, and I want
Mhm.
to thank you. So I want to surprise some folks here tonight. You in agreement with that?
Yes, definitely. I'm so excited how many people are joining. It was like I saw at one point like people are like all trying to join at one time. It was like, oh
It's,
my God, so many people. This is so fun.
it's nutty. There's more. It's like a two or three every 30 seconds at this rate. So,
Right. I see it just going up and up and up. They missed all the parts already.
but but here's the thing. Wasn't this supposed to be like this is private invitation, right? Like we're inviting people.
Correct.
So I don't know. It's
Right.
okay. I guess people are telling other people about it, but I just wanted to. I just but I want to set the right mood here, and here's what I want you to think about. Everybody in this call, I want you to imagine what it could be like to have money coming in regularly from hundreds of properties constantly, quarterly. Boom, check, 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 check. I want you to just think about that. And then, and this is one that may take a little bit more creativity because it is it's really cool. I want you to imagine and think about the fact that you could very well be one of the early owners of the next big company. Imagine if you would have just heard about Airbnb and the two partners that started Airbnb with an air mattress. Or how about Apple or Facebook, with Mark Zuckerberg and, who is mad at his girlfriend breaking up with him. That's how they started Facebook, guys. But at any rate, I want you to think about what it would be like to be actually one of the early owners. I don't know. Noel, how has that ever happened with you? Have you seen a situation where you had a shot at something and acted on it or didn't act on it?
Oh my gosh, I have one that still keeps me up at night, and it's how we talked and met and laughed about it with the tea, and how I just missed out on this awesome opportunity, and I couldn't believe it, and it hurts when you see someone making millions off of something that you could have got in on.
Yeah, yeah, I tell you, boy, yes,
Yeah.
correct, check, check. But anyway, I do want to just have you think about that, folks, as you're going through the night here, and I want to once again reiterate the whole deal here is we really want to make it easy, and when I mean easy, I mean easy peasy for everyone to own a piece of a bunch of properties, a portfolio of properties without having to go into any debt at all. Now, I said before, without putting up thousands of dollars, I'm going to make it a step further. I'm going to say that you're going to be participating and owning a piece of many, many, many properties without going into any debt at all, not one red cent. Does that sound good, folks? Good? Check. Check the box on that one. Okay. So, Noel, we've got really three secrets that we want to talk about tonight, correct?
That's right. Yes, that is right.
And it comes down to you isolated before you get into the secrets that there are three things that typically stop people from getting involved with real estate. It's putting together the money for the deposit. It's finding a property that actually is going to be profitable. And then it's making the time or being able to handle, renovating, repairing the property, getting tenants, even selling it. Are those the three biggest problems?
Yes, that is definitely the three biggest problems with that people find when they're saying, "Okay, I want to get into real estate." And these are like the challenges, like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay for all this? What debt?" That whole thing.
So here's a statistic you told me, and once again, I want everybody. I don't want you to just to don't think about like just tonight or just for the next 7 days or even the next year. I really want you to put your big think hat on right now. And here's why I'm saying that. There is a statistic. Can you tell us, Noel? There's a statistic related to 89%. What is that connected to?
So, and this is a fact, and it has been a fact for over 100 years, okay? 89% of all millionaires were created through real estate. Bam.
There you go. 89%. And I just want everybody here despite whatever ever happened from this point backwards. I want you to think that, listen, we probably have some millionaires on this briefing right now. So well done, you folks. We have some 100,000aires and half a millionaires and whatever. And we have some folks who are working hard and want to be a millionaire or get up to that level. But I just want you to know the easiest way to do it is to correctly get involved and start on the track of real estate and start building successes, building successes, and building successes. And right now, here's where you're at. You are sitting right now, right this instant, at the easiest possible way to get involved with real estate successfully. So what Noel and I are going to talk about tonight is how you get rid of the problem with money. You get rid of the problem with finding one, if not many, properties, and we're going to take off the problem of all the time it takes. Noel? You want to comment on that? Because
yes, that's the most exciting thing about all of this. Like, I'm like giddy. I wish people could see. Like, I'm over here smiling. Like, yes, tell them about this. This is amazing.
And so here we go. So secret number one, we're going to teach you how do you acquire an ownership interest in large number of properties without having to go into debt. So that's secret number one. How do you do it? Secret number two, how do you as an individual find and purchase properties without spending 1 minute of your time? And you're thinking, that's crazy, Bob. That's impossible. We're going to actually show you how. And last but not least, is there some way that somebody other than me, which would be you, are going to have to track down, repair properties, find renters, find buyers, maintain properties, collect rents, all that stuff? How can you do it without you personally having to do every single part of it or even any of it? So those are what we're going to go through right now. So by the end of this briefing, you're going to learn that. So here we go. Bam. Secret number one, how to acquire an ownership interest in large number of properties without going a dime into debt. How the heck do you do that? How do you do it, Noel? Boom.
Let's tell them.
It's power in numbers, folks. Power in numbers. There's a phenomena occurring. Whether you do something with us or not, I want you to take this home with you tonight, or keep it at home because most of you are at home anyway. The biggest change in the business world today is sharing, whether it's home sharing, ride sharing, I don't care what it is. It's sharing, and it's not sharing with 2 or 3 people. It's sharing with millions of people. So what you have to do is in order to be able to acquire hundreds of pieces of property without having to go into debt, you have to find a large group of people who pool their money, a small amount of money, not a lot of money. Each of them putting up a little bit of money. They start with something, and in this case, we're talking about, in this case, each member can put up as little as $500 to join and never use money they can't afford to use, and don't ever use debt to participate. So find yourself a group, a movement of people, have everybody agree, okay, let's each pitch in a little bit. And as we're successful, we pitch in a little bit more and a little bit more. And as we get cash flow, a little bit more and a little bit more. Noel, they found us. We're it.
We're it. Hello, everyone.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello. Tell them about New Res is us. I love this.
Isn't that? I thought that was cool because New Res is us. So right now, and already just a couple weeks since just doing our pre-launch, we're now heading up to close to 4 dozen people and climbing fast, with many more people getting together paperwork and things to get involved. So New Res is us. It's a company that is building a community of like-minded people. Everybody has the same goal, actually a couple. They want to get involved with real estate successfully, and they want to build some type of income that builds up that they don't have to continually work on. They want that. They want that. I mean, this is what you teach a lot of, Noel, is passive income.
That's right. That mailbox money. Mailbox money. People want passive income.
So through the power of crowds, people can actually team together to accomplish great things, to accomplish the ability to buy things on scale. When you buy things on scale, which means a lot of the stuff at the same time, you get cheaper prices. If you have a lot of money, you can buy multiple properties, and you could be really tough when you're buying the properties. If one person wants the deal that you're not ready to go with, if you have a pile of money, you say, well, hell with you. I'm going to go with this property. When you just have a little bit amount of money and you're having to, just focus in on one thing, that's when things get tough. So the large number of people that we've now put together is NewRez. That's what NewRez is. And combined, all of this can do what I'm talking about: own a piece of many properties, have continuous income, and not initially put up a huge pile of money. So secret number 2, the way to find and purchase a piece of hundreds of properties without spending your time. Imagine if somebody else was the team. Now, Noel, I'm giving it to you. Tell people about what you do, what you have been doing for years. Bam.
So many of the, people on the call, they know, Noelle was a working corporate mom. I had that boring corporate job and that I absolutely hated. And I transformed my life by kind of investing in real estate on the side while still working a job. So then fast forward, I'm making money in real estate, flipping houses, owning properties, getting rental income and things like that. And then I start coaching and teaching, and now I have other students doing it. And so now I have this team. I have lots of students. We have this big network, and we know how to fix and flip houses because we've done hundreds of them. So the renovation process, finding properties that are off market at great prices, we're so skilled and versed at it. We've been doing it for so many years. So it's just an amazing opportunity for us to take these skills and just scale it to a higher level.
And here's what so if you can get the idea of I mean Noelle has a network, a team of people she's trained on how to find great deals. Now, what we are focusing on are properties that literally never go down in cash flow. And we're talking about multifamily units, small apartment buildings, small apartment units, multifamily locations where we are constantly getting rental income. We're going to talk about that more, but folks, even during the 2008 crash, the one type of property that did not get affected by it was apartment units with cash
That's right.
flow. That's the one place, and it just keeps on going up. I mean, Noelle, that's one of the key things you have discovered, correct?
That is correct. And so, when we have those big apartment buildings and, in larger apartments, we save money on maintenance, on, renovations. We can scale things. We can, buy all of the same paint, all of the same carpeting. We really have some amazing things that we can do when we're able to buy in bulk.
Exactly. So I just want to remind everybody, I said the first secret is how the heck can you own and have a piece of many, many properties without going, knee deep in debt. I think you'll all agree, would you say, that we've given a solution, correct? Next solution. By having a team working for you, they're the ones who are trained, successful in finding properties. They're now working for you. You are an owner with them, so you don't have to do it. Did I now give you a solution on point 2, everybody? Check the box on that? Okay. Noelle, I think we did good. We did good so far.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Right. Secret number 3. We've handled the first 2 secrets. You're not putting a pile of money up. You're not having to track down the homes and possibly get a crappy home that you're losing money on. We took those 2 problems off the table. Problem number 3. This is a big problem. Is there a system out there, and we're going to go into this quite a bit. Is there a system out there that finds tenants, collects money from tenants, maintains and repairs properties without any involvement on your part? Is there something out there? Answer.
Let's see.
Hey, well, you know what I decided to do? I'm not going to give you the answer yet. I'm going to tell you what, because everybody here wants to be in real estate, correct? Everybody hand, yes, I'm interested. I want to learn more. I want to do it. Everybody, we're good? Okay.
Yeah.
I am talking about two ways of going after it. There is the old way and the new way. Now, we're talking about the new way, but I do want to remind you of the old way. So what do people using the old way of investment have to do? They have to find a property. They then have to buy the property. They then have to renovate the property. They then have to advertise the property to get tenants or a buyer. They have to then negotiate. We're going to focus on rental for now. They have to negotiate a rental lease. They have to collect the deposit. They have to then, on a monthly basis, continually collect rent. They have to make property repairs. They have to pay utility bills. And when that tenant leaves, rinse and repeat. Do it again and again and again. So my deal, I just want to let you know, what I just described takes a lot of time. Who here exactly has a lot of time right now? Everybody? I'm sure there's more than a couple people here who don't have that time. So here's the solution. And Noel, I'm showing the solution, and it's 𝗏𝗏𝗃, which I'm sure almost nobody's heard of, NewRez, which you're learning about, and Airbnb. So I want to get into what this is. First thing is the NewRez property prep team. So Noel, this is where you are killing it, because you
killing it.
you figured
my
out
wheelhouse.
This is exactly. It's how to take a dump and make it a palace, right?
That's right.
Talk to us.
Passion in the process.
Tell us what we're going to be doing to make a property that's at one value, another value, and cash flow like crazy.
Yeah. So again, this is the part that I absolutely love. Like I said, I was fixing and flipping houses, and that was like, my claim to success and my key, out of working to being self-employed and being free. And so as I was fixing and flipping houses, that was fun, and we got really good at it. Really we created a really good system, that I kind of teach. We were really regimented. And what we found though is when we started doing with apartment buildings, we were killing it, because you could do multi-units. Like, say, for example, we're finding an 8-unit or a 10-unit. We could renovate all of those for like almost, I'm serious, it's like 25% of what it was costing to renovate an entire house. So we're able to buy things in bulk. We're able to do the same design in each of the units and really just make it really nice and brand it, but not spend a whole bunch of money. So we've like cracked the code on that.
So, and this is key to understand, because listen, obviously, if you have a 12-unit apartment and you're buying, because remember, we actually furnish these places, folks. So if you're buying,
they don't know that part.
I'm jumping the gun here. Okay, so the point is, if you're bringing in a renovation team, okay, and they bid out the renos, but they're bidding out on 12 units versus 1 unit. That's what you're saying to me, is that you can get significant discounts on that, right? Is that correct?
Yes. So let me paint the picture. We're finding the properties at below market prices, because that's what we already are skilled to do. Then we're renovating them in a systemized way that's really efficient and cost effective. So we're saving a ton of money there, and then we're scaling it up.
Bang. Okay, good. So that makes sense. The second step is what a lot of people don't necessarily understand or know, and this is the killer app, because there's two parts of the killer app. What is Airbnb? They are a gigantic company now. They book over 3 million stays a night in 180 countries. And when I say, you're talking about 3 million people a night, understand that Airbnb spends billions a year to promote their website. So Airbnb,
that's crazy.
It's unbelievable, and they allow you, Noel, you can put up on their platform your properties, and you're not paying for that advertising. That's
That's
ridiculous.
right. That's right. So we're putting our properties on Airbnb and look at all of the benefits.
And I'll tell you one benefit. If you take a look at the average business, okay, the average business spends between 7 and 10% of their gross income on advertising. So we just took 7 to 10% of the cost of running a business, and that's gone now. That means the success level of the company is much higher. The second thing that Airbnb does, so understand that as we acquire properties, we can advertise them, and Airbnb is spending billions telling people to go to their site to find properties to rent on a short-term basis. We're talking short-term, travelers, businessmen, people who are moving, from one place to the next. Then the second biggest area of cost for a business is personnel, particularly in this type of business, accounting. So Airbnb collects all the deposits. They collect all the rent, and they pay NewRez. Noel, how was it and how has it been? How much effort does it take to collect rent, deposits?
Oh my God, it's completely effortless. It is. This is the part, and you're going to show like where where the opportunity is crazy and how it's been so profitable. Just Airbnb and those furnished apartments. Airbnb is just growing exponentially. Like there's so much demand. There's so many people looking for properties that there's not even enough properties for the amount of demand there is right now.
Incredible. And I just, you've had many properties in the past. You've had to employ people to collect the doggone money, correct?
That's right.
And people in accounting typically are people you have to pay a little bit of a premium because they're handling your money. Guess what? We're using Airbnb. They collect the rent, they collect the deposits, they pay us. We don't have an accounting group. They also pay for the insurance of the property against damage. So that's pretty good. So here is the ace in the hole. And this, once again, we're about to show you the single most important part of NewRez right here. Boom. Airbnb rental pros like Noel, and there's not a lot of them, make 200 to 300% more than the average person renting a property. How is this possible? Well,
this is my favorite part.
Okay, you want me to say? Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yes, please.
I love saying this part. So here's Noel, and what she, in the past, she's been putting. Look, I'm just going to take an average apartment. The average apartment that's short-term rented through Airbnb, and period, is $1,000. Okay, $1,000 rent. So $1,000 rent. Now, when you take that apartment and you rent it on Airbnb, you can, on average, charge $140 a night. The average property using Airbnb, if it's used all 30 days, has a 70% occupancy rate. With Noel, since she's really good and her people are really good, she's higher than that, typically 80%. Okay, here we go. The average property, you take that $1,000 monthly property on a long-term rental person, it's $40 a night. Actually, a little less, more like $35. So if I rent it to one person who has the property for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and it's $1,000, that's $35 a night. So let's go do the math real quick. I hope I'm not throwing anybody off here. So if you give that property to Noel, $1,000 property, she's going to take the long-term renter and she's going to say, sayonara, bye-bye, bye-bye. That's step one. Step two. Step two. She's going to rent it more than, let's just say 70%. That's the average. So 70% of 30 days is 21 days. 21 days times $140 is just a hair under $3,000. $3,000 using short-term rental solutions versus $1,000. And there is our ace in the hole. And you've been doing this. Talk to us about this, Noel.
Boom. So this is when the money, the profit just took off. I'll just say the profitability. When I realized we had, I was a typical, landlord, typical real estate flipper, and had long-term tenants that were in the properties for a year or 2 years, so let's say their properties, they're paying $1,200 a month. Then I'm finding, wait a minute, instead of making $1,200, the mortgage on is $1,000, you got somebody in there paying you $1,300 or $1,400, you're making $300-400 a month. You're doing very good. Plus you're paying down the mortgage. Then I get onto this Airbnb and start seeing that same unit renting out at $140 a night is making me, instead of $300 or $400 a month, I'm making $2,000 a month on one property.
Boom.
Boom.
And that's okay. So let's just think back, and I'm just trying to keep this real to everybody. I want to give you just basic data here. So I'm hearing about this. Do y'all want to know why I connect up Noel Randall to one of the Shark Tank stars, Kevin Harrington? It's because of this. Because I'm looking for crazy stuff to get my top celebrities involved. And I said, Kevin, let me tell you about a situation here. Got a company here who doesn't have to pay for any advertising, doesn't have to pay for about half of the personnel. They are making 3 times what people in the industry normally make. They're making a 66% profit margin. Then they have very little overhead, and a huge multi-billion-dollar company does all the advertising for them, and the same multi-billion-dollar company collects all the money for her. They pay her on time. If a tenant punches a hole through the wall, the big multi-billion-dollar company pays for it. Are we understanding?
That's right.
That's the situation.
Yes. All of that is true.
So folks, I know you're probably going, there's no frickin' way. There is
way.
And that's why there's 3 million people staying at an Airbnb property, and there are other companies like it, like HomeAway, VRBO. It's because you have 7 billion people on the planet. Okay, let's look at the numbers here, and about 2 billion of those people move around a whole lot, and that's why the hotel industry has been pretty doggone good. So let's go a little further, because there's one other thing I know you're all asking. You're going, okay, that's all good, Bob. Yeah, good. Yeah, Noel. Yeah, yay, thumbs up. But what about okay, you have all these properties, you have to mess with all these tenants and ask questions and customer support and all this crap. Well, there are major companies like 𝗏𝗍. 𝗏𝗍's an international powerhouse, and here's what they do. They handle all the bookings, and they handle all the support. So you don't have to, as an owner in NewRez, you don't have to talk to one short-term rental prospect ever. You don't have to deal with any tenants. You don't deal with any customer support. And frankly, neither does NewRez. we're saying, 𝗏𝗍, we'll give you your little percentage here. You go handle this crap. So you have been solving the 3 major problems of real estate: getting the money, buying the right property. But isn't this the biggest area of problem that people have?
Yes, and it's so funny because we joke, we put that picture up there because that's how it used to be. And so let me kind of even go back. So like I said before, I'm having tenants, long-term tenants that stayed there for a year, and so I'm like, okay, you have your headaches with that. So then I'm thinking, all right, so now we're renting out per, each night. People do a night, 3 nights, 7 nights, 10 nights, whatever, And so now we've gone to a per night basis, and there were still a few little hiccups. So then we start, when we're designing NewRez, and we're putting this whole thing together, and we're like, okay, we're going to build a great company. So we start interviewing and finding who can do this and who can do this well. And we come across 𝗏𝗍, and we found our solution to partner with them.
Exactly. So I just want to I promised everybody I'd show you 3 secrets. And by the way, frankly, you don't even have to work with us on it. Everybody's going, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? I've just shown you the 3 secrets. And the only decision you have to make is, well, I want to do it myself, or I want to get a whole pile of people working with me, or I want to just get involved with New Res and let us do this for you. But here's the 3 things we saw. I think we've now shown you how you can be part of a large group of people who acquire an interest in hundreds of properties without going a dime into debt. I'm sure everybody here probably has $500 somewhere, right? You not have to go to get it. You not have to get a student loan for that, do you? I don't think so. I don't think you have to get a bank loan to get $500, or even 1,000, or even 1,500. But I'm saying to you now, we've shown you here's how you can get a piece of ownership interest in many properties. Number 2, we've shown you a way to purchase a bunch of properties without having you spend 1 minute of your own time buying properties. And lastly, I've now shown you, Noelle has shown you and developed a system that's used to find tenants, maintain properties, collect rent without any of your involvement at all. So now you are now involved in real estate. You can watch what happens. You can learn from it. Heck, later on, after you're making money every single quarter, and we will be going to monthly payments sooner than later. I'm just saying you can learn the business through this process. It's a stepping stone to maybe even you doing, your own properties. Who knows? But this is an easy way to get involved. So that's the RECA. Now, Noelle, I think we have jam-packed everybody with a lot of data, right?
There's so many people on this call. I know they are excited and just like, whoa, mind blown.
I got a little, I don't know if you could see this picture because I know you are traveling a lot and you're on the phone, but I have a picture of a young lady with a bunch of books. She's like packed with data.
I see it. I'm on.
Oh, you're on? Okay, great. Here,
that's what some of my students look like at first.
Exactly. So I'm asking your permission, folks, on the briefing tonight. My next step is to tell you how you can be part of it. Now, I want to, if it's okay, if it's okay by you for me to tell you how you can join, how you can get involved, stay on the webinar. If it's not okay and you say, Bob, I'm tapping out, great stuff, thanks for all the secrets, I'm going to do it myself, great, that's fine, it's okay. But I'm asking your permission. Is that okay, everybody, for me to just do this last part of the briefing? Are y'all good with this? Okay, here we go. Here's what you're going to get with $500. Okay, with $500. You can invest more, but if you want to test us, start with $500. And that should be easy for everybody to call. You could do more, but I want to show you for $500 what you get. 60% of all profits go to the New Res non-management shareholders. That's you guys. That means the senior management that run the company, like Noelle, okay, they're going to keep 40% of the profit. She's giving 60% of the profit to you guys. Tell me why you're doing that, Noelle. Why isn't it the other way around?
And because this was really important to me. And so all of the investors that have already jumped on, and that's why I think we got so many investors so quickly, is because I wanted this to be for regular people. I wanted for the average person to be able to invest in real estate. I've come across so many people that are interested in it. They want to do it, but they just don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to get started.
That makes a lot of sense. So that's one. Here's the next. So $500 or more, because you can do more, but I'm going to show you kind of the benefits if you do more, but as little as $500. Every 3 months, profits will be distributed. Boom. Every 3 months. And a little quick calculation here based on the numbers, which you can see when you go check us out, when you go to the crowd funding or the funding site to get involved with us. For every $500 that someone invests, they can receive as much as 20 to 30% return on investment annually. 20 to 30% return annually. Why? How can we possibly do that? We don't spend any money on advertising. We don't spend a huge pile of money on personnel, on accounting. When we do renovate properties, we use power and numbers, so it's a lot cheaper. We are making a ridiculous profit margin using short-term strategy versus long-term. So instead of making on a $1,300 rental property, making a $300 profit, we take the same dang property and make a $2,000 profit. That's why we've projected, and believe me, I'm only saying 20 to 30% return because I'm trying to be safe here, but there's more. Here's what's more. Whenever shareholders, NewRez shareholders also make money when NewRez sells one of the properties, and the profit is paid out to the shareholders. So, Noel, have you ever had an instance when you took a property, renovated it, made it profitable, made it cash flow like crazy, and somebody came around and gave you a silly ass offer that was really
yes,
and you just
yes,
took it? Okay.
that's right. We cash out, and so and absolutely, that's why we fix our properties up and we maintain them. They get very attractive, and they're already making money. That's the key to this. So actually, I won't even mention that. So it's the key. The funny part about it is, we found properties that are already profitable. We've just actually made them more profitable. So we're definitely going to sell a few of them.
And sometimes you get killed these stupid offers, and you take the stupid money. So what? So we get. Point is, it goes down to the shareholders. Now, if you reach a certain investment level with NewRez, like $1,000, we will also rent out your property. Some of you are on this call right now are sitting in a 3 or 4 bedroom home. Your kids are gone. You don't do nothing with 2 of those bedrooms. I guarantee many of the people on this call have that situation. Do you understand that if you put $1,000 in and you let us rent out those 2 rooms or 1 room for about 30 days or 40 days, do you understand you'd make all your investment back and everything else is gravy? Do you get that? Do you understand?
Do they get it? Do they see? Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm just saying right now, like an average single room does $70. If you invest $1,000, your portion of that rental income is half at $35. Do that times 30 days, folks. That's all it takes. Your $1,000 is back. Some of you probably take extended vacations. Like you can rent the whole doggone house. Okay? The whole thing. Rent it for 30 days.
Yes. Yeah, and it goes beyond. It can be the guest house. It can be the basement. I have students that have a pool house or a small house besides their house. Tell you about your friend with the Gulfstream.
The guy with a Gulfstream is doing Airbnb. He makes $2,800 a month with a Gulfstream. A Gulfstream. So I know all
RV,
you're probably
people. That's an RV.
That's an RV. Okay. So it's like, let's say you want to do a vacation for $3,000 and you want it to, I don't know, 2 weeks, 30, I don't know. And you just give us the property. We're going to show you how we do it in a second. And we rent it out. We handle everything for you. You don't do a doggone thing, and you're making $2-3 a month. So if you are so that's another level. So if you put $500 in, boom. If you put $1,000 in, we'll rent your property or your rooms in your property, and we split the money 50-50. If you put in a little bit more, you make 75%, we make 25% right off the top. If you reach a higher level, and this is really for people who own multiple properties. There's a lot of people in this briefing right now probably own multiple properties, or you have control of multiple properties. I know there's people on this call right now that manage many, many properties. If you invest at another level, we will put all of those properties in our system and make you a bloody fortune. And we handle it all. Okay. So We're almost done, folks. I just want to show you a couple more things before we take some questions. Here's the last piece. Okay, I've shown you how you can make 20 to 30% return. I show you how you get paid quarterly. I show you if you put a little bit more money in, we'll actually help you make money with your own home, rooms in your home, the home. If you invest a little bit more money, you're going to make a lot of money, okay? But then, folks, do you understand that when you invest in New Res, you get shares of the company. You actually get shares. So right now, Airbnb, which has really only been kicking around for 8 years, is now worth $35 billion. Do you think
you have to say that again? Billion.
$1 billion, okay? Do you understand the original investors in Microsoft who put up $1,000? That $1,000 is now worth over $2 million. You see? So this is why you want to find great companies, and if you can somehow get a little piece of the company when they just get started and it has a great idea, it's like a lotto ticket. So you now have, with an investment of $500, you bought a lotto ticket. But man, let me tell you something. That lotto ticket, it's a heck of a lot more likely to bank out for you than a lotto ticket. Okay? And who hears
right when you're buying real estate?
Okay. Yeah, buying real estate where you make a $2,000 profit on a $1,000 a month of rental property, where you don't pay advertising, you don't pay for personnel, they collect the money, they insure the property. I mean, this is a no-brainer, okay? So let's just go ahead and review everything. I want to reset everything. Here is what you do and don't get. You don't have to find properties. You don't have to buy properties. You don't have to find tenants. You don't have to collect rents. You don't have to repair properties. You don't, you do get quarterly profits. If you invest a little more, yay! If you invest a little more in New Res, you will rent your primary residence extra rooms of the whole property, so you make more profit. If you invest a little bit more in New Res, we'll rent any property that you own and control. And then when New Res property is sold, you get a hunk of the profit. And if New Res goes public, that's where we're heading, folks, or it gets bought for who knows how much money, you're paid as one of the shareholders. Okay? So, folks, how does that sound so far? Does that sound good? You like that? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Are we on to something? Does it make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Here's the exact opportunity. Got about a minute left here before we take any questions. You can act. And I just want to say one other thing real quick. This fundraising that we're doing now is what's called a crowdfunding. We are doing this primarily because there's a lot of our friends and a lot of people Noel knows that we want to get involved with this early when the shares are $1 a piece. Okay? They're $1 a piece during this crowdfunding. This crowdfunding is only it's like $1 million. And then I turn on the jets and I start hitting huge investors and a mammoth list that's going to be promoting the next round of funding. And I want to make this crystal clear for everybody so you know. The shares are $1 now. When we finish that, you will never see that price again. Our next round will be running between $3 to $5 a share, the next round. After that, it will be much higher. So right now, you can invest in for as little as $500. Anyone who invests $1,000 can also have New Res rent your primary residence as well as rooms on the property and get 50% of the proceeds. Anyone who invests $1,000 or more will also be able to attend any of our periodic celebrity events, starting with our February 17th event, which is going to be mammoth. And it's like
mammoth. Mammoth. Media. Pictures.
Media, press releases,
celebrities,
VIP. Crazy. So, and there is a capacity. Now, there is a capacity. So if we have to get a tent to put it outside the studios, the celebrity studio. Well, we may have to do that, but because we have a lot of people that are already saying, yeah, we're going to bring people with us. So if you invest $1,000, you can come to any of our celebrity events because we're going to be running them all year long as we buy big properties. We're bringing celebrities. We're going to be promoting. We're going to get PR, blah, blah, blah. Anyone who invests $2,500 or more, and we have quite a few people right now, anybody who invests $2,500 or more will receive 75% of the proceeds from the rental income from your primary residence or rooms in the residence. If you invest $5,000 or more, this is the killer. You get everything else, plus we will rent your primary residence or any residence you control, and you make 75% off the top. Okay? That's the opportunity. And I just have one more quick question before we take questions. Okay? Listen, let's just break this out into something simple. If all we did, you put $500 in. Let's say you put $1,000 in, whatever the number is. If all we did, let's say you put $1,000 in. If all we did was get you a really good return, like 10% every year, would this be worth it? Clearly. Or if all we did was make you a good return, not a really good return, but a good return of 5%, but also help rent out your properties, would this be worth it? Just imagine if you put $1,000 in, you let us rent one of your rooms for 2 months. You make all your money back. Okay? So is that worth it? All right, last question. If all we did was make you a good return of 5%, but you also could make serious, crazy money if New Res was bought or went public, would this be worth it? Well, would this be worth it? All three?
Oh my gosh, of course. And like I know that people are screaming in the chat box. They're like emailing me. I'm getting text messages.
My text is going nuts here. Okay, so it comes down to two choices here. Here are the two choices. You have two choices. You could do both choices, by the way. But here are your choices. The old choice is if you want to be a real estate investor at some point, the old way is to put together a whole bunch of money. The no money down deals are dead. You ain't going to find them. You then have to find the properties, buy the properties, fix them up, sell or rent them. Big money, risk, bunch of work. Here's your new choice with us. Risk a very little piece of money, small amount of money that you can afford to lose, burn, throw out the door, be an owner of the next hot company, and let New Res take care of everything, and you just sit back and collect your quarterly checks. So which of those is the best option?
I think this is an easy one.
So what I did is I promised you that I was going to show you a very easy, no-brainer way to start getting involved with real estate, to start diversifying your income. Okay? This is how you do it. So I promised at the end we want to show you some of the beautiful properties that we're looking at. There you are, Noelle. You do have a camera in your hand. So here's some properties right now. Tell people about those real quick before we wrap up. I'm going to tell you what to do, folks.
This is 8 units. Can you hear me? 8 units.
Yep.
In Orlando, that's one. We're focusing really. We've done our research, and so of course, if they look at everything, we have our target areas, and of course, we're focusing on Florida and Texas, Georgia, Alabama. We got some, even Mississippi. We have some great areas that we're targeting, but these are in Orlando. This is one that's fully occupied, already making over $100,000 per year. So again, we're finding properties, multi-unit apartments that are, that are already making money and just increasing the amount of money that they're making.
That's perfect. And I want to show people something real quick. So right now, our New Res site, the corporate site, goes live on Friday. And on Friday, people, and we have a number of investors who already qualify, you can start posting your properties on Friday, and we start making you money fast. So like properties, I just want to show you that real quick. That's what it actually looks like. That's the page called Post a Property. your name, your email, your phone, the type of property, the address, rental time period, everything, and then we get back with you, and then we handle everything. So those are two pretty cool properties, aren't they, Noelle? I love those. I love that.
Absolutely. And we have a few others. We actually have a big complex that wants to give us a lot of their vacant units. And so we're working on some bulk deals there. And all we have to do, so in that case, we don't even have to own them. We can lease properties and start making money. We already got that in the pile.
That's fantastic. So that's another strategy, part of our strategy. It's all about controlling doors, folks. You got to control doors. And our approach is if we have a property that's really good and we can lease to own, we lock it up, we start making money, and then we have a bunch of cash flow, then we buy that baby. Or if the property is just such a crazy, crazy steal, we put up a little bit more money, put the deposit down, and buy that baby. So there you go. So here's what you do next. There is a site called truecrowd.com, truecrowd.com. That's where you actually go to sign up and invest. I'm going to show you what it looks like. One second, folks. I gotta minimize the little screen here, and I'm going to type in. Go ahead and put TrueCrowd up here so I can show you what you got to do, because I already have people literally texting me saying, "How do I invest? How do I invest?" Oh, I blew that. Can't type. Bob, I can't type. Okay, that's because I'm typing and talking at the same time. Here we go. So what you do is you're going to go to TrueCrowd. You see TrueCrowd. You see that big button? You got to click that. That's on. That's free. You have to register so you can then go to NewRez, which it's the top row. That's the company on the top row, left-hand side. You click it on. There it is. And you see on the right hand. Now, if you want to read all about us, no problem. Here's all this great information. You can read all about us, projections, everything, the whole business model. You have fun reading. You know, it's really cool, great information, right? And once you're ready to invest, you see the little button, green button. You click that on and you start investing. Okay? All right, so that's what you do. Okay, so here we go. Step one, go to TrueCrowd, sign up for free, click on the New Raj project to invest, and follow the directions carefully. Now, the next line does not apply to you because we already have 30 people, actually well more than 30 that have invested. We were going to do something. We did. Those first 30 are coming to this huge VIP event. So they get to come no matter how much they invested. But you know something? We are going to figure out some type of additional surprise for our first 100 folks. I just don't know what it is. We're kind of brewing something up. So original investors, here's what you can make sure. Here's why you need to start. You should start if you go, well, I don't know, put $500 in. If you're at the, yeah, it sounds good, cheesy peasy. Here's what I don't want you to do. Noelle, you don't want this to happen, do you? I'm about to describe something. It's not
okay.
Good. Here it is. I honestly do not want to see you 2 years from now watching television and seeing Noelle Randall on a talk show being interviewed about how she has this billion-dollar company and how much money it's making. And I don't want you sitting there 2 years from now with the biggest regret maybe this lifetime. Okay? I just don't want you to have that. I hate to be kind of, you know, I'm laying it out, folks. Go to TrueCrowd, at least put $500 in. Okay? That's what you need to do. If you want to actually start making money, you can get the quarterly payments, but if you actually want to start making money with your property, whether it's rooms in one house or the house or other property, you want to invest a little more, invest $1,000. Let's start making it. Let's make all the $1,000 back in 60 days. How's that? How about you put $2,500 in and make it, you know, make money even faster? Or if you have $5,000, you have a lot of properties, let us handle them for you so you're making a real fortune. So,
and let me tell, and another thing too, Bob, tell them, think about this. even if they have properties and they're making money, or if they have one rental property, you can have that and this. We're like, you could hedge your bet and see which one does better. See if we outperform you. And I promise you, with the team that we've put together and the expertise and the education and these smart, nerdy people, we've come up with some secret sauce here. But you can always just see and compare.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. And folks, Shark Tank investor Kevin Harrington doesn't jump into anything. He saw the program. He saw the plan. He's on board. And let me tell you, with that cat, he's going to be bringing so many opportunities to us. They'll choke a horse in terms of real estate, investment funds, people coming in saying, wow, this is crazy, I'm in. So that's why I'm saying, if
strategic partnerships he's got.
Oh, Lord Almighty. I was just, it just goes. So here, we want to handle a couple questions. Hopefully the chat box works on the page here. If you have any questions, please type them in right here. Just type questions in your box. If you see the chat box on your screen, you can type in questions. I have one person, no, more than one person, smokes. Okay, I've got one question. Here's the question, Noelle. What is the first, you said you rattled off some state. If somebody knows of properties in Orlando, can they let us know about them?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a great way for them to, even in some cases, and we can talk through this maybe offline, pick up some fees, because that is something that we're willing to do for finding us those off-market properties. We already do that and have a program for that.
That's perfect. Okay, good. Second question that flipped up immediately. When you talk about a multifamily unit, like they said a quad. What's a quad? Is that a 4?
A quad is a 4 unit. Yes, that is a 4 unit. So we're looking for more than 4 units. Okay, so zero? Okay, funny. So 1 unit, is a single family home. A 2 to 4 unit is also a multi-unit, but it still kind of falls under residential. We're looking for those 5 units and up because we're into the commercial real estate.
Okay, commercial meaning rental real estate.
More than 5 units. Yeah.
And that's for individual
residential
people.
More than 5 units. Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. Yes. Now this is a great question. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So they just asked, well, if I put 5,000 in and I have only single family homes, do I qualify? Yes. We're just talking about,
yes, duh.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, that's where we love we love that.
Exactly. So understand, when we're talking about what we're acquiring, what we're leasing, that's what we're talking about, multi-family units. In terms of our investors who are saying, hey, rent my house or rooms, that's fine. We love that. But we're just not going to invest in a single family unit. Okay? Is that correct, Noelle? That's right, right?
That is correct. We're not looking to buy single family homes right now. We actually want the investors to bring them to us. That's how we want to diversify that part of our portfolio. So that's exactly what we want.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, can you invest more than $500? Yes, you can invest more than $500. Here's a question. Somebody tried to invest more than $2,000 and it only let them do $2,000. Okay. Here's why. When you put in your information, if you're an investor that's not an accredited investor is somebody who makes $250,000 a year or has $1 million worth of assets, not counting their home. Okay, that's an accredited investor. If you're an accredited investor, they don't care how much you can put every single nickel you have into something. If you are not an accredited investor, there are some limitations on how much you can invest depending on how much you make. So if some of you make maybe only $40,000 or $30,000 a year, you probably can't do more than $2,000. That's why that's happening. Okay. Noelle,
kudos to you for having it, because we'll have some opportunities there.
Absolutely. So I want to say again, invest now. If you have $1,000, invest, and then let us help you make money with your rooms or your whole house. If you have $2,500, we'll make even more, 75% right off the top. If you have $5,000 and you have a lot of properties, let us really make you a whole lot of money. If you want to be a little careful, put $500 in. See how we do, and then you could put in more. But here's the most important single thing I'll say tonight. We're going to rip through, as soon as we go public, February 17th, we go to the general public, which means we tell everybody, we're going to rip through this first phase fast. It's $1 a share. $500 is 500 shares. 1,000 is 1,000 shares. Get whatever you could do now at $1 a share. Just get it. Just do something. Go to 𝗡𝗢𝗏.com. If you have problems investing, if you're trying to invest and you can't for whatever reason, email Noelle at noelle@newrez.com. That's NOELLE at NUUREZ.com. So let's wrap it up because I know we've gone longer than I thought.
I got one question that someone texted me. They asked about condos. And yes, if they have condos, yes, townhouses, condos, we want those as well.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So I want to thank you again for taking the time to be here. Make sure you get involved fast. Put something in. Get involved in some way, because don't be sitting around in 2 years kicking yourself, please. I just don't want to hear about it. All right? Okay. Thanks a lot, Noelle. Thanks for attending, and we will see you down the line. Thank you very much. Noelle?
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.